So I'm going to talk about now. She looks like she's goofing around because they are goofing around. He's smiling, she's smiling. They're all goofed. He's the only one actually playing the part.
He's in character.
He's in character.
I like that. That's commitment.
That guy took some. That guy took some good improv or Stella Adler, right?
Yeah.
So this is by Corey Morningstar. That's a great name. Morningstar.
You better be Native American.
I hope so. And it says wrong kind of green. This is from January 17th, 2019. So this is over 4 years ago. The manufacturing of Greta Thunberg for consent, the political economy of the non-profit industrial complex.
Right.
So let's read a little bit of this. What's infuriating about manipulations by the nonprofit industrial complex is that they harvest the goodwill of people, especially young people. They target those who are not given the skills and knowledge to truly think for themselves by institutions which are designed to serve the ruling class. Capitalism operates systematically and structurally like a cage to raise domesticated animals. Those organizations and their projects, which operate under false slogans of humanity in order to prop up the hierarchy of money and violence, are fast becoming some of the most crucial elements of the invisible cage of corporatism, colonialism, and militarism. And who said that? Hiroyuki Hamada.
Well, I agree with him. Never heard of him, but he's right.
Never heard of him, but
that's why I don't think that guy was real. I think that's I think there's all like a stunt to make you feel like something's happening.
Look at this. So this will tell you. This is from Finance Monthly. Climate change. We don't have time. Really? Finance Monthly?
Boy, nice of them to be concerned. You know, after so long of all them denying that it was a thing, and now not only is it a thing, but it's my fault.
That's right. This says we don't have time. And that's a stern look. She loves that stern look. I'll tell you that. So we don't have time. As this term is quickly becoming the quote du jour as a collective mantra to address the ongoing environmental disaster that can best be described as a nod to the obvious, it's true that we don't have time. We don't have time to stop imperialistic wars.
Huh.
We can't even stop to get the hostages back
That's
from
right.
Hamas.
We got to keep bombing.
Got to keep going.
Wars being the greatest contributor to climate change and environmental degradation by far, but we must do so. Of course, this is an impossible feat under the crushing weight of the capitalist system, a U.S. war economy, and the push for a fourth industrial revolution founded on renewable energy. Yet, inconvenience has nothing to do with necessity in regards to addressing a particular situation. What is never discussed in regard to the so-called clean energy revolution is that its existence is wholly dependent on green imperialism, the latter term being synonymous with blood.
Whoa, Corey Morningstar. Does that mean like Lucifer Morningstar?
Yeah, I know, right?
This sounds like a death metal album.
But that's not what this series is about, Kurt. This series is about new financial markets in a world where global economic growth is experiencing stagnation. The threat and subsequent response is not so much about climate change as it is about the collapse of the capitalist economic system.
Yes, so this is to get hyped up for green energy that I'm heavily invested in.
Yes.
And like that's why she's like a Burger King Kids Club mascot and not a real.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why she's a cartoon character.
This series is about the climate wealth opportunity of unprecedented growth, profits, and the measures of our elite classes will take in order to achieve it, including the exploitation of the youth. What is we don't have time? That's a funny sentence. On October 20th, 2018, a tweet featuring a photo of a Swedish girl sitting on a sidewalk was released by the tech company We Don't Have Time, founded by its CEO, Ingmar Rentzhag.
She's an industry plant. I just found a Swedish girl on the street, and I go,
yep.
Well, what a coinky dink.
What a coinky dink.
And that was my vice president, Mr. Coinky Dink.
This is it. One 15-year-old girl in front of the Swedish parliament is striking from school until election day in 3 weeks. Imagine how lonely she must feel in this picture. People were just walking by, continuing with the business as usual thing. But the truth is, we can't, and she knows it.
That's where this came from?
That's apparently.
This is the lamest, most obvious fake, like, Boy, I don't remember ever seeing this. I just remember all of the media.
I remember it was her by
this.
I remember it was her by herself, and she was a school kid who was going to not go to school, and this was her.
But this is her first appearance.
That's what I'm understanding. This, according to this article. Tagged in White Sox Lonely Girl tweet were 5 Twitter accounts: Greta Thunberg, 0 Hour, which is a youth movement, Jamie Margolin, the teenage founder of 0 Hour, Al Gore's Climate Reality Project, and the People's Climate Strike Twitter account in the identical font and aesthetics as 350.org. Reitzog is the founder of Leica, a prominent Swedish communications consultancy firm providing services to the financial industry, recently acquired by Funded by Me. This is really something. Come on, you guys. He was appointed as chair of the think tank Global Utmaning, that's Global Challenge in English, on May 24th, 2018.
My birthday?
On the 4th. Is that your birthday?
Yeah.
And serves on the board of Fund by Me. Oh, no kidding. You see the synergy here, Kurt?
Yeah.
This is all about synergy.
It's all about green energy
and synergy with financial companies and PR things. Reitzog is a member of Al Gore's Climate Reality Organization Leaders, where he is part of the European Climate Policy Task Force. He received his training in March 2017 by former U.S. Vice President Al Gore in Denver, USA, and again in 2018 in Berlin. Founded in 2006, Al Gore's Climate Reality Project is partner of We Don't Have Time. Oh, God. The We Don't Have Time Foundation cites 2 special youth advisors and trustees, Greta Thunberg and Jamie Margolin.
She's a graduate of the Tisch Film School.
What is that?
You know, Tisch, where actors go.
Oh, really?
NYU.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, all the Tisch kids were NYU people when I was there. Yeah.
Martin Tholslund, a chief marketing and sustainability officer of We Don't Have Time, took many of the first photos of Thunberg following the launch of her school strike in August 2018. In the following instance, photos taken by Tholslund accompanied the article written by David Oslund, chief operating officer of We Don't Have Time. This 15-year-old girl breaks Swedish law for the climate. That was published on August 18, 2018. Continuing on, Greta became a climate champion and tried to influence those closest to her. Her father now writes articles and gives lectures on the climate crisis, whereas her mother, a famous Swedish opera singer, has stopped flying. All thanks to Greta.
I mean, if that was really true, that is absolutely insane.
Kurt, all clearly, and clearly she has stepped up her game, influencing the national conversation on the climate crisis 2 weeks before the election. We Don't Have Time reported on Greta's strike on its first day. How did they know? How did they know about it?
Well, I tell you, but we don't have time.
It's almost like they manufactured it, isn't it? It's almost like that.
This is like an industry plan. It's like like that. They made this band Tramp Stamp around the same time. That was like these chicks, fake punk rockers, you know?
Yeah.
It was clearly like a constructed, like the Monkees.
I like the Monkees, though.
Well,
then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. And in less than 24 hours, our Facebook posts and tweets received over 20,000 likes. Shares.
I think it didn't. I think they bought a bunch of likes and tweets.
Is there something big going on here? This one kid immediately got 20 supporters who now sits next to her. This one kid.
Yeah.
Well, turns out it wasn't one kid. This one kid created numerous news stories in national newspapers, and it wasn't one kid. That's why we.
So this company paid for fake followers. Because nobody gave a.
And there was.
I was baffled why I was supposed to care.
Yeah.
That some 15-year-old won't go to school in Sweden until they fix the weather. I was like, if people don't listen to a scientist, what do they care about her? Because this company put this together like that's why it reeks of like, you like kittens, right? Well, this is like not cute like that, but it's the same principle.
So this one kid has received thousands of messages of love and support on social media. Hey, here it comes. Yes, there was and still is something going on, Kurt. It's called marketing and branding.
And how come she never grows?
How come she never grows? Good. This one kid immediately got 20 supporters from a Swedish network for sustainable business.
Oh, my dear God.
What is going on is the launch of a global campaign to usher in a required consensus for the Paris Agreement, the Green New Deal, and all climate-related policies and legislation written by the power elite for the power elite. That's why she's invited to the WEF. Of course we knew that. This is necessary in order to unlock the trillions of dollars in funding by way of massive public demand. Kurt, it's all about the Benjamins.
Well, guess what? Who am I going to trash her to? Because no one has ever cared about her that I've ever known.
These agreements and policies include carbon capture and storage, known as CCS, enhanced oil recovery, bioenergy with carbon capture and storage, rapid total decarbonization, payments for ecosystem services referred to as natural capital.
Oh, that's your water, your forest, your air.
Nuclear energy and fission, and a host of other solutions, they put it in quotes, that are hostile to an already devastated planet. What is going on is rebooting of a stagnant capitalist economy that needs new markets, new growth, and in order to save itself. What's being created is a mechanism to unlock approximately $90 trillion for new investments and infrastructure. What is going on is the creation of and investment in perhaps the biggest behavioral change experiment yet attempted, global in scale. Well, this is before COVID. And what are the deciding factors and what behaviors global society should adhere to? And more importantly, who decides? Well, this is a rhetorical question, as we know full well the answer. The same Western white male saviors in the capitalist economy system that have implemented globally that has been the cause of our planetary ecological. So they create the problem, and now they're going to sell you the fix.
Greta Thunberg's a male?
This crisis continues unabated as they appoint themselves yet again as the saviors for all humanity, a recurring problem for centuries. Greta Thunberg, there it is. We don't have time. Greta Thunberg, our lives are in your hands. This is my cry for help. And she, look at that face.
I mean, it's not really inspiring me to go on.
It's me neither.
The scowling.
And that is from September 2018. The scowl. That's the Greta Thunberg scowl, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, when they say it's manufactured, did they manufacture her?
Right. Was she made in a test tube? Essentially, We Don't Have Time identifies itself as a movement and tech startup that is currently developing the world's largest social network for climate action. So essentially, through our platform, millions of members will unite to put pressure on leaders, politicians, and corporations to act for the climate and start that $90 trillion gravy train running, baby. The startup's goal to rapidly achieve 100 million users has thus far attracted 435 investors. 75% of the company's shares via the web platform Fund by Me. So essentially, We Don't Have Time wants to leverage millions of users on social media to shame those identified as bad climate actors and reward those who are working to help the climate, as identified by the organization's leaders and communicated with people like Greta Thunberg. So now you see what's going on. I know if Cornel West was here, he would pretend not to understand what's going on.
Brother Greta is doing a wonderful job.
And with her precious climate change, and he would call me a Trumper, which is what he did when he came on my show, and pretended not to see the connection between Trump being prosecuted with RICO statute and the Stop Cop City people being prosecuted with the same thing. But luckily, I'm not as dumb as a Harvard professor. We Don't Have Time promote. There's their promotional video published April 6, 2018. So the organization plans to make money by A, facilitating of carbon offsets.
Oh, the dispensations, yeah.
And B, building a base of millions of users so as to leverage the data collected about them the way social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter do. That's what they were doing back in 2018. That was their big idea.
We are running out of time. Right now, carbon dioxide emissions are being released at a staggering rate. Climate change will soon be self-fulfilling and unstoppable. The ice in the Arctic will no longer deflect sunlight, and the Siberian tundra is melting while releasing enormous quantities of methane gas into the atmosphere. We cannot turn the clock back. We are growing closer at an unprecedented speed to the point of no return. But there is still time.
That's weird, that methane gas, they call it methane.
Yeah.
But I thought the Nord Stream pipeline was the biggest release ever of that methane, and there she was supporting it. Greta Thunberg was supporting that release.
She had nothing to say about it.
She had nothing to say about it.
And also, why did they include all the dangerous nitrogen from the farmers in Denmark?
Oh, they didn't even bring that up yet. Those farmers in Denmark are killing everybody.
Stop the emissions. So why do we not introduce a carbon dioxide tax now? Why is it we are not shifting to 100% renewable energies? How is it that nothing is being done?
Carbon tax.
We have a solution. Right now, as we speak, we are building a social network, an arena where you and millions of people around the world will be able to watch who is really doing something to put an end to the climate crisis. An arena where you can look into what your politicians and business leaders are doing about climate change. Do they in fact take it seriously? Are they doing their job? Love bomb the ones in power that are actively looking for solutions, and climate bomb the ones that must do more. Nobody likes a bad rating. Nobody wants to be held accountable for the climate crisis. When the pressure is felt by the people in power, they will no longer be able to deny, mislead, or hide. They will have to change their ways. This is a time when together we can solve this crisis, a time of great change. We are working round the clock to create this social network, but you don't have to wait for us. At WeDon'tHaveTime.org, you can already send climate bombs, love bombs, and messages to chosen world leaders through social media. Remember, together we have the power, but we are running out of time.
Okay, I no longer believe in climate change also. I want to make that known. That's it. I'm out.
Rally around a cause. Our system will be designed to highlight this and prompt businesses, politicians, and other leaders to act. For instance, 500 users object to the use of plastic bags in a local convenience store.
Is that where all the bags have been going?
The manager of that store will receive an automatically generated email from the platform, and the store's overall "we don't have time" rating will be negatively affected. However, if the store goes on to do something about it, our users will appreciate this and improve the store's rating.
Is this pre-pandemic? That's what's so horrific.
This is pre-pandemic. The not unintended results will be tenfold. The corporations with the best advertising executives and largest budgets are going to be the winners. Greenwashing will become an unprecedented method of advertising, as with the art of storytelling. No one ever said a story has to be true.
Yeah, I read Hassan Minaj's interview. Yeah.
So this is just... Yeah. So this is just like that DEI ESG shit that comes from the top BlackRock. So they can go out and rape the planet, but say, look at all the gays and all the people of color that we're employing to rape the planet. Yeah. Look at our great ESG score.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, the main just thrust of this, which I really do, I didn't really think of it, but I knew the pyramid scheme was collapsing. I didn't realize the desperation of this is what's to make the new markets. We're going to need a war. We're going to need a disease. We're going to need new, windmills that kill whales. We got to get this thing going.
And just like during COVID, Kurt, guess who's going to be the loser in this? Small businesses.
Finally.
So the big businesses have the big budgets for marketing and advertising. The small businesses, let's look. Smaller local businesses with little financial means will more than often be the losers. Especially hit will be migrant entrepreneurs whose cultures differ from ours in the West, where Western democracy is the only democracy that is valid. Another inconvenient truth regarding the above premise is that there is growing pressure on governments to increase federal research and development funding to develop and deploy deep decarbonization technologies as one of the primary solutions to climate change. This was proposed at the Paris Climate Accord with Bill Gates.
Are we going to block out the sun? Is this where this...
With Bill Gates!
Is this going to be that sun blocking technology that he was...
Mission Innovation Initiative, which committed to doubling government investment in energy technology. We want it to cost more in terms of revenue, public support, and reputation to not work on lowering emissions and improve environmental sustainability. Whereas those that lead the way, so those Dutch farmers, they don't have the advertising budgets. That's right. So that's why they lose their farms.
Yeah.
Right? So our vision is to create a race towards environmental sustainability and CO2 neutrality, making it the core priority for businesses and politicians and organizations worldwide. That's from Acquisition International magazine.
I wonder if they've pivoted since then to other more profitable things, you know.
Yeah. Here again, we must look closely at language and framing. Who are those that lead the way? Bill Gates. Are they referring to Western citizens who can fit all their belongings in a duffel bag? Here, it must be said that the environmental heroes in the West are not the Richard Bransons or the Leonardo DiCaprios of the world. The real heroes for the environment, due to their almost non-existent environmental footprint, are the homeless, despite the scorn they receive from society as a whole.
That's pretty funny, dude. That's a pretty good.
Kind of pretty good.
I didn't even realize the greatest climate change heroes were the homeless.
The homeless.
Wow.
Are they referring to the African Maasai who, to this day, literally leave no trace? Or are they those that lead the way, Unilever and IKEA, represented on the We Don't Have Time board?
Probably Unilever. They do a lot of good work with selling soap to fat people.
This is another rhetorical question we all know the answer to. Notice the mention of CO2 neutrality rather than the drastic reduction of CO2 emissions. Convenient language when one of the main pillars of the business model is the sale of carbon offsets, rationalizing a continuance of the same carbon-based lifestyle by constructing a faux fantasy one that anyone with monetary wealth can buy into. Because that's what, when Bill Gates says, hey, when they ask him, why are you still flying your jet? He goes, well, I buy carbon offsets. Because if you got money, you don't have to change your lifestyle.
Yeah. No, Jimmy Savile kind of had a system like that where he'd do his evil crimes and then he would offset it with his charity. He would so rich people love that. They love a good,
The big problem with an online mob that is designed to name and shame people who are stupid, who are the climate offenders, is who controls that climate mob.
Right.
Is it going to be Bill Gates and Richard Branson?
Well, it's mostly, I'm guessing, bots. So whoever programmed it.
By utilizing fake accounts. Kurt, you're on it.
Yeah.
By utilizing fake accounts, think Twitter and Facebook, strategically orchestrated campaigns will effectively allow the app to break political careers and demonize people and countries based on the number of ratings or climate bombs. These bombs can be administered against any foe that does not embrace the technology sought by the West to benefit the West. And this so-called revolution, regardless if the reason for doing so is justifiable or not. So you better not go against us. The word bomb itself becomes reframed. Rather than associating bombs with militarism never touched upon by We Don't Have Time, the word bomb will eventually become first and foremost associated with ratings, bad products, bad ideas, and bad people.
Like review bombing.
So, yes, such is the power of language and framing when combined with social engineering. Here, the behavioral economics of hatred can be weaponized, a virtual new form of soft power. The Nicaraguan Sandinista government, who did not sign on to the Paris Agreement because it's too weak and serves only Western interests, could quickly become a pariah of the global stage, as the West controls the stage. Already a target for destabilization, the soft power app would be applied as the ruling class sees fit.
Oh, like Me Too.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, this is a repeating. This business model has been going very strong for quite some time.
When one contemplates the nonprofit industrial complex, it must be considered the most powerful army in a world. Employing billions of staff, all interconnected, today's campaigns, financed by our ruling oligarchs, can become viral in a matter of hours just by the interlocking directorate working together in unity toward a common goal to install uniform thoughts and opinions, which gradually create a desired ideology.
It does for a bit, but here's what I know. Yesterday I was watching.
We're pushing back.
Yeah, here's the benefit of this pyramid structure power thing. There's a bunch of lies that flow down, but there's also the scumbag greedy people that are lying up their way up the pyramid. That's why these people don't know anything about anything at the top. So remember stupid Patriot Front?
Yes.
And I'm like, how come I didn't see through a bunch of stuff like that, like in the 90s?
Right.
That was clearly some asset from the intelligence doing something. This one's like, did they get worse at it? And my girlfriend's like, no, you didn't have the internet to really look at.
That's right.
The internet's backfiring on this thing, spying on us.
Yes.
You can kind of spy on them too. Yeah.
So this is the art of social engineering, Kurt. Conformity and emotive content as tools of manipulation has been and always will be the most powerful weapons in the madmen's toolbox. If 300,000 people have already voted with climate hearts on a trending topic in under 48 hours, it must be a great idea.
This is before that market collapse where it came out how everyone was faking it. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody is faking everything with bots. It was 2018?
Yeah.
It was not as well known
This
as
is 2019.
Oh.
To be clear, the West is in no position to teach or nudge or engineer the correct value system regarding sustainability to the world when the biggest polluters on the planet are manufactured into climate leaders and climate heroes. This is all
Guy really nailed it.
This guy nailed it.
I forgive his dumb name because this is pretty great.
This is like a Thunderfoot or something. This is a reality turned on its head, a reality we are conditioned to accept. Institutions such as the United Nations, in tandem with the media, spoon-feed this insanity that defies all logic to the global populace in servitude of the ruling classes.
Well, wait till he hears the new definition of woman.
Oh, boy. This is from Acquisition International magazine. Important to foster that commitment and involve the staff in the strategic work. Post-launch, we will be dependent on a committed user base, and it will be very important to implement their feedback and nudge them
Oh my God.
towards being active on our platform. Our success hinges on building an active community around our core values. Finally, this behavioral science platform lends itself to the continued development of critical thinking. Really? Because I think critical thinkers are going to see through this. With virtually everything and everyone to rate all day long. Who has time to look in depth on any given policy or product that, after all, sounds, looks, and feels simply amazing due to sophisticated marketing coupled with behavioral change tactics?
Yeah, here's what, again, this was a couple of years ago. That wears off on people eventually. It wears off. Once you hear it too many times,
Hopefully,
the only way it wouldn't wear off if all this amazing success and economic generation was coming to people, then that's why the people that work there go for it.
Well,
the people that ain't helping, it's going to dawn on them, and it is.
Well, the thing to keep in mind, Kurt, is that it's vital to keep in mind that social engineering and massive profit are the key merits and purpose of this application.
Wait, they're not communists? Wait, are you telling me this isn't some Marxist infiltration of business?
No.
But it is, in fact,
It is
from the business the whole time.
from the business the whole time.
What are you saying? There is no left or right? It's all a trick? What are you saying?
Kurt,
How dare you?
all manufactured, baby. It's all manufactured, which is why the first thing they went after in California was to ban lawnmowers and leaf blowers that are gas powered, but I can still drive my private jet from San Diego. I could fly it from San Diego.
Don't fly it.
Don't
That's
fly
all.
it. I could fly it from San Diego to San Francisco and buy a battery powered leaf blower and act like I'm doing something good. Well, I buy carbon offsets. This
And then buy
this
like
is that whole thing.
hundreds of feet of extension
It's all
cord.
a scam. It's all a scam. It's all a scam. I'm not saying climate change is a scam. I'm saying climate change is probably real. But what I'm saying is that the way they're dealing with it is a total scam meant to funnel money upward and screw over you. That's what it's about. Look what they're doing to the Dutch farmers.
I mean, I'd say it a lot, but Jehovah's Witnesses, they only they predicted the future about the end of the world and gave a date wrong once. What's Bill Nye the Science Guy up to now? About 15?
Yeah,
And
right?
the new computer models the computer models, Bill?
Computer modeling is the fucking worst way to do anything.
Look, if this is a real problem, why are you sending this stupid girl mascot?
Right?
Why are kids gluing their heads to paintings? Right? Like, you're doing magic spells. This doesn't look like anything to actually affect anything.
Well, people I think are fun. See those people in Europe, they do it in Europe. They haven't done it here yet, where they just block traffic, like as if that's going to do something. And then people
The
get
most
out.
homicidal time to try to protest for a cause.
People get out of their cars and then start dragging them off by their hair. I don't know if you've seen that happen, but I have.
Some guy just shot two people in Panama.
Yeah, but that
It wasn't climate
no,
change.
that guy's a maniac.
But what I'm saying is to go to the highway and block it. The highway is where people are the most That's where human life is the least valuable.
Yeah.
Is in traffic. Like, I felt terrible for those people who got shot, but in fairness, I was not in traffic when I found out about it.
Hey, come see us doing a live stand-up show. We'll be in Burbank, California, Oxnard, California, Venice, California, Palmdale, California. Then we're going to Omaha, Des Moines, Milwaukee, Lansing, Bend, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, and Boston, Massachusetts. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.